how to remove light scratches and or swirl marks if you have any in your paint. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel, to Mr. Sam, Field and Shine. And here's what we got. On our last video, how to clay bar your car, your Jeep, your automobile, whatever that it might be. And just to do a little review of what we were doing, using the clay bar on the surface here, some sorts of a clay lube, your clay bar of course, and here, and you want that in linear fashion, front to rear. And it's just a little reiteration of what we've done before. Take a cloth, wipe this back off, and we'll be ready for a how-to for today. And our how-to for today is how to remove light scratches and or swirl marks if you have any in your paint.
Okay, Sam, so when you pulled your truck into the garage, you said, I'm gonna wait for this thing to cool down before we get to work. Can you explain about that a little bit, what you meant by that?
Let me give you an idea. Here we are in Florida. Black paint. Ambient now is about 87 or 88. This sitting in the sun like this, I didn't put a heat gauge on it, but I have do use one for it. Usually averages about 145 to 148, somewhere in that range, just sitting out there on black paint. Now, most of your products you're going to use, like your clay bar, are not designed for heat like that, direct heat. Somewhere let's say 98 degrees and down, they're okay with that. But you get up too high, it'll go to melting your clay bar, and some of your products don't work real good in high heat.
All right, Sam, can you tell us what you're working on today?
Now then guys, today I'm working on my own vehicle. Now imagine that. Usually the guy that has one like this has usually got the worst one in town, meaning your typical detailing guy has the worst one in town. The cobbler has the barefooted children. You know all that stuff goes. So from time to time, oh, by the way, did I tell you about this truck?
Oh, tell us a little bit about your daily driver right here.
This is my daily driver. There's a dealership downtown called Sunset Chevrolet.
In Sarasota, Bradenton, yep.
And that's where I bought this thing, brand new, at the end of 1999. It's a 2000 model truck. And I brought it home, put a new K&N filter on it and all like that. But now then, fast forward a few years, and we do have a few miles on it. 720,000 to be exact.
Wow.
It's still going fine. Quiet
It
as a
is.
mouse, drives good. But with that, as a daily driver, you will get scratches in it because from time to time, I'll pick up an old towel, knowing I'm not supposed to do that. Wipe through it, now you got a bunch of
So this is the original paint that's 22, 23 years old.
22 years old.
And he just clay barred this portion of the hood.
Right here.
And now this video, you're gonna show us how to remove, any light scratches that are in the paint.
There's
right?
light scratches in this, and you'll see them, and black's the worst you could have. I say the worst. It shows up the most, so it lets you see how well your product does, is one good thing about it, if there is a good thing about it. Because black is real pretty when it's done up, but boy, it gets dirty quick.
Now, do you always clay bar before doing this?
I check it, and now let's see. You say, well, how do you check it? Well, like we did when it was clay in the car. Just take your little magic bag.
Yep. And if you guys go check out his video on how to clay bar your car, we go over this in great detail, how to tell when your paint needs to be clay barred, and then how to do it. There's also links in the description of the products you can use to do this yourself at home.
Just take your little light plastic bag, like
Yep.
so, which by the way, that's what the spray wax came in. And you can rub it in your hand and think, it feels good. But you go in here and you think, oh, wait a minute.
Feels
There's something
completely
on-
different, right?
Yeah, it's completely different. Think, there's a little something on there.
So
and there is, right here. We'll let our film guy do that.
Oh yeah, yep. First is over here where you just clay barred, it's different.
So,
And
with that said, so that you always want, when you're going to put wax on one, you always want the wax to be onto the clear, or if it's a single stage paint, onto the paint. When you wax over it, when it does need claying, you're just waxing the contaminants. So the first time you wash it, wash your wax right back off. So now you give the wax a bad name. But with that said, take your clay bar, go back over this, and do the bag thing again.
okay.
It's a magic bag, I guess you could call that.
So can you show us what your instrumentation looks like so that viewers at home can get a set of equipment themselves so that they can do this? What do you got working with us?
This is on my random orbital. This one is a Porter cable. It's called a 7424
Yep.
XP.
Variable
And
speed.
it's a random orbital. Now, it's got here on your settings, and this is for your OPM, or orbits per minute. I guess it's other people's money, but it's really orbits per minute. I usually run mine around 5 or 6, and that's 1,000, 5,000 or 6,000. orbits per minute. It is a dual action, meaning it has this and that.
Got a little wobble to it.
And that's how
yeah.
you take the swirls out of a paint. Say if someone's left them with a buffer, this being a polisher, that being a buffer. For a pad that you would use when doing the final, which we're using here, final polish, to take those out, you want a soft pad, and your pads usually run like in a hard, medium, and soft. And it's really just you can tell by your density of your pad itself here. And when you're using this, you want to have on pressure on it here about 85% left. When I say left on the thing, you don't want it flattened down like that. You're going to have about 85% of your pad up here, so 15% crush, if you will, that you're using for your
Got
surface
it.
usually.
So just enough to crush about 15% of the
15%
pad.
of your pad. You know, you don't want it up like that. Here, here.
Keep it flat.
Like that. You want to keep it flat on.
Good to know.
Then, like I said, I use the, and by the way, guys, this product will be coming out in about a week and a half with its own little bottle of the final polish. Right now, I just have a generic final polish label on it, which is all I have at the time. That'll be coming out. Now, on your pad, put you about 3 dime-sized spots. 1, 2, and 3. I move mine around a little with my hand. You don't have to. You can start right away because there's no sling on this product here. It's just a little distribution on the pad itself. You want to start your machine on the surface that you're going to do. You don't start it up here. It will just sling off your pad onto the machine and then start it.
Okay.
Now, when you start it, just have a hold of it.
So just to recap, guys, he's saying with the amount of finished polish that you're putting on the pad, you're covering about a 2 by 2 foot square. And your first pass, you go all the way, and then you cover that first pass about 50% when coming back.
Yes.
Keeping even pressure across the entire pad and working in that 2 foot or 4 foot, 4 square feet section before having to reapply that final finish product. Or that.
Then you give it a wipe off with a good clean microfiber towel. Then come back and inspect your work. Now, and you're saying, well, it looked that black from the start. No, if you get down real close to the camera,
Yeah.
if you look, there's lots of scratches right in through here.
Okay.
So what we're going to do there,
Spot like right there. You can see some marks there. Versus up here, this is looking like an absolute mirrored finish.
and what we'll do the same is on this area, because covering this area to here will be about, geometrically speaking, about a 2 by 2 area.
Okay. So what are you saying is you want to stop the machine before pulling it off?
Yeah, say if I'm here working on it, I know I'm going to stop the machine, take it out. Now then, as males will go, and I'm probably no different, occasionally someone will ask you, what's burned through on a paint? Well, you're not going to burn through with this. Now, someone's going to say, oh, but that's wrong. I was on a place and I've done this and that, finally burned it through. Let's put normal circumstances, okay? That's not this. Usually burn through occurs about 99% of the time with a true buffer, which simply means fixed spindle rotating around it. So a fella says to me, "What? Can you show me a burn?" And I said, "Sure." So I was going to show him on an extra panel that I had, and he said, "I'd really rather see it on a live object." And I said, "Okay, I can do that." What's a live object? My truck. Look here.
Burned right through the paint, didn't you?
Now that was to prove a point here.
Yes.
He wanted to see burn through. I said, okay, watch what we got. So I just burned through a place here. Now, you're saying, well, that's pretty stupid. No, it's to prove a point that you can burn through it. This is thick paint on it, or fairly thick for that year, but you can burn through it. Not with this, not probable with this, but with a buffer, you better on that buffer. And our next video will be on how to use a true buffer. So that's what we'll be doing. But on this right here, the surface here, let's have a look at it. This one we just done.
Beautiful. Looks like an absolute mirrored finish. Doesn't even look like it's black.
So now, okay, now your surface at this time is as clean and scratch-free as probably you'd want it, you know, to still have it as a daily driver. So at this point in time, you're going to put your wax, be it paste, cream, whatever on the thing. But in this case here, guess what we're going to put on it? I'm glad you asked.
Oh, what do you got?
I happen to have here.
Start again.
For this.
Say again.
A little bit of spray.
Start over again.
I just happen to have with this today, with me today, actually not with this, a bottle of spray wax.
With your face on it. Hey
Yeah.
guys, you can get that at cletusmcfarland.com.
Exclusively, and I might add exclusively, because a lot of people have asked me, hey, can I get that on the internet somewhere else? No, because in an agreement that I made with Cletus McFarland was that he said, I'd like to have it exclusive. And I said, okay, so that's what we did. You can't even buy it from me. I can't even sell it. So that's what I gave him, and he's very deserving of that. So anyway, what we're gonna put on it now, we're not even gonna put cream wax or paste wax, this. And you're saying, well, what's the big deal about that? 3 to 5 good hard washings with this, and you still got good protection.
I like it.
So let's do it just in a, and you don't have to overdo it. There's no need of doing that.
Right.
There's no need of that. You want
Just a mist.
that.
Doesn't need to run, it just needs
And
to
that's
be.
enough. That's enough to do exactly what we're doing right there.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take our towel, which comes with the kit, by the way, here. Turn your towel. Done. There it is. And you're saying, that looks like a setup. No, actually, I just drove this thing over here from the shop, and that's what we're doing. And to touch it, it's pretty slick.
Quite smooth.
Pretty slick.
Just for comparison, we literally drove this truck over here. He backed it in, we let it cool down a little bit. He did the clay bar on this side, and then we orbital buffed it, and then this is, you know, the other side. Yeah, it's still in good shape, but definitely not as good as the other side.
And you're saying, well, that's a setup vehicle on the thing. What about something like, you want to do another vehicle? I can show you one right quickly.
Let's do
They'll
it.
give you some, okay?
Yeah,
We'll just step right over there.
all right. So first of all, you gotta get her at least wiped down. This thing's been sitting outside, got a little bit of dirt on it.
We're going to simulate a wash here, if you will. And through that, with just some clay lube put on. And you'll get most of your stuff off of it, if you will. But, oh, yeah.
Can you just feel it
You
with
can
your
feel that
hand?
by hand.
Yeah, you can.
So what we're going to do is take our clay bar with a good surface here,
Yep.
a bit of clay lube, same linear fashion. And your clay bar usually will stick to your hand, okay?
Okay.
Guys, remember this, and to you guys, if that thing falls out of your hand, onto here, throw it away.
Throw it away.
You can't pick them sand pebbles out of it. And I know you're saying, yeah, I can't. No, you can't. Because this thing acts like a magnet, if you will. Now then, once again, we're going to use a soft density pad here.
Yep.
And with our standard procedure of operating that, meaning we're going to crush it about 15%.
Yep.
Now, when I say crush it, that's the amount of pressure, because I tell people, don't put a heavy pressure on this. And they're saying, well, how much is heavy? What's medium? What's light pressure? Push this down about 15%. I mean, pretty easy to see that. You got to push down here about that. So when you've got it up onto your surface, you don't want that, or this, or up here like this. You want about 15% there.
Got
It gives
it.
your best results, increases the life of your pad, and does your best job on the function that we're after. We'll do this about 3 dime-sized spots here. Once again, we're going to do this in a linear fashion, and it'll give you an idea. I know the black was kind of, maybe it looked like a setup, but it wasn't. That's my daily driver. And start on the vehicle.
So I noticed, you know, when you meet areas like this, that, you know, unlike a buffer, you're not avoiding them. Is that correct?
No, see, like on your So, okay, these outward edges here,
Yeah.
on a buffer, you want to be very careful of an outward edge like this here. Matter of fact, what we'll do is on the very beginner buffers, the person, I have them tape off edges like this right here.
Yep.
Just run your little tape around there. So that you don't run into, say if I'm going along here and I go over that,
Yeah.
it'll usually burn you a place right here. So
Got it.
if I run me a little tape line up to say here,
Yeah.
when I'm buffing on it, then, okay.
Okay. Go.
So now guys, we've done this on a different vehicle, different paint, had the same light scratches in it. We did do the clay bar on it, come back with our light polish and our random orbital with our soft pad, if you will, soft density on that. And here's where we are. So what's the next step? Well, I think you know what the next step is.
Some of your spray wax.
Little spray wax.
There you go, right here. Mr. Sam's spray wax.
Now, notice this here.
Yep.
This guy, he's older than me, but he does look a lot like me. No, I don't mind that a bit. So just give it a here. That's enough. That's enough. No need to waste your product. You don't get the benefits you're looking for, just conservatively using it. Hey guys, that kind of does it for today for the demo that or the how-to, if you will, that we're going to do on these. And that's how to clay bar your car, how to take out the light scratches, what to use, what procedures to use. And if you like this sort of content, why, subscribe. Let me know something on it. And I will say this, our next video, I've had a lot of requests for this. How do I do buffing? We're going to go into that, both in, and I'm even going to show you how to burn paint. Now we'll just burn it on a little panel that I've got, but show you how to burn paint on the thing. What to do, what not to do. And these are things that I have done through the years. Is it the only way? No. Is there other ways? Yes. But if it gets the results that you're after, then that's a way you can go, and we'll have product to support that.